we couldn't look at some country songs without looking at Johnny
Absolutely.
Cash. Especially in the UK. I can't say for certain in America, but there's one name that comes above all else, and it's Johnny Cash.
It's got to be Johnny Cash.
Especially
Absolutely.
when you're learning guitar.
Yes.
I've taught this to pretty much every student I've ever taught.
It's me too.
At some point or another.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a classic, such a great 3-chord beginner-friendly tune.
100%. We're playing this in the key of E. We're in standard tuning. The original, I think, is in F, so it'd be capo the 1st fret. But we had a discussion and we were like, definitely teach this in E.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way to think about it. I think most people tend to play it in the key of E. But yeah, if you want to play along to the original recording, just slap a capo on at the first fret.
Chords super easy. E major, a hint of an E7 before the change to the A. And then back to the E, B7, and then we can also do this trick with which we can do on the E as well.
Yeah.
And then the A, doing this, which we'll talk about more on the electric guitar part, because this gives us the Boom-Chicka rhythm.
That's it. It's the it's kind of the train rhythm, I think, isn't it? It's that.
We can have it with the root note to alternate in the kind of walking bass line thing, but it's there in this as well, isn't it?
So if you're playing in this kind of format, you're kind of bashing out the basic chords, you're holding down the groove. I think what you hear on the original recording is you've got the electric guitar playing this kind of muted part, which complements the acoustic part so nicely.
Yeah, sure. It's super percussive. You can hear the reverb, the spring reverb there ringing out.
Yeah, if you get a bit of reverb in there, you really kind of press down quite firmly with your palm.
It's
and
very
you really
muted.
That.
Super clean. We're on the treble pickup, so the Telecaster's got that twang to it.
Classic sort of country Telecaster twang. So volume and tone on full bridge pickup. You get that nice.
And we're going through a Fender Princeton here. It's sounding lovely.
Fender Princeton. So I think your Telecaster through some kind of Fender is the classic sort of country sound, and it's completely clean here. No effects. Just a bit of spring reverb coming from the amp, and you've got that lovely.
So how do we find these little?
Yeah, so it's all just coming out of the chord shape really. So if you're on an E chord, here the pattern would be this. So in terms of the string numbers here, I'm starting on the 6th string. I'm skipping up to 4, and it's the 5th string and 4. So 6, 4, 5, 4 in terms of the string numbers. So all notes from the chord, but it's the root note, and then the B is the 5th as well. So it's almost like a kind of bass part that you're playing.
100%. I think of it as a bass part or Travis picking. That's basically what you do with Travis picking with your thumb, right?
It's what the thumb would do, in a finger style, kind of Travis style.
Very similar.
For sure.
And then we change to the A.
We change to the A. So the A chord has got the root now on the 5th string, so we have to adapt our pattern slightly here. So I think you've got some options. You could go.
So move the whole thing down, keeps everything the same
pattern,
as possible.
Move it up. That's
a good shout, especially for anyone learning this for the first time. That's a very good idea.
That's one option. You can kind of just get that pattern in the muscle memory. That works perfectly. I think what I just did was played that instead. That's another possibility. So we've got 5, 4, and then 6, 4. So because this low E string, that note E belongs to the A chord as well, so it's going to work. It's going to work over that chord. So I think that works nicely. I think on our A chord. Back to the E. We're heading to the 5 chord, the B7.
Yeah, the B7. You could still keep it to exactly what you've been doing there.
Totally.
But this.
That's super nice.
A bit more signature to the song, isn't it?
It's super nice to do that.
So that's root to the 5th, but it's going lower.
Exactly. So
B to F sharp.
Yeah. So you're having to move your. I'm playing that with the 2nd finger, just moving that over to the low E string, and.
But that's quite easy to do, even if you were strumming every string. because the A string naturally mutes when you put your middle finger down quite
Yep.
easily. So even if you were just strumming this one, I'd still encourage.
Yeah.
I'd still be encouraging.
Yeah,
that shot.
all of this stuff you can do when you're strumming. It doesn't need to be super precise. I think with this electric part it is picked quite precisely, but you can hint at that when you're just doing the strumming. So it's a bit rough and ready, but that kind of works.
But you can get that. And with this rhythm, one story that just blew my mind when I first heard it was Johnny Cash having a $1 bill.
Yes. Yeah,
between the strings.
Right, yeah.
Now I tried that once. It sounds terrible, but only if you try and do chords with it. If you just use it percussively, so you literally mute your strings, what he's created is a snare drum with the guitar, and the $1 bill's a snare.
That makes sense.
So, do we have anything that we could use, like a little bit of paper, just to give that idea? I should have prepped.
Does
this
anybody
a
have?
little
I
better.
don't have
Does anybody have a $1 bill?
Any cash anymore? Let's see if we can do this.
But I'm not. If I'm doing this wrong, let me know in the comments, because it's still a bit of a mystery to me, like exactly what he did. He never did it live, but apparently in the studio.
That's the story. That sounds right to me.
It gives you a rattle. Compared to not having that, I've just created a snare.
Yeah, it's.
But it's a more natural snare, and I guess also, if you were being a little stingy, you don't have to pay someone to do it. You can literally
don't need to hire the drummer.
But imagine doing that with a looper pedal as well. You can literally get that recorded, and if you do the boom-chicka, boom-chicka.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hear how loud that is. I can't believe how loud that is.
It's usually loud, yeah.
That's awesome. So I presume
awesome.
that's why it goes there and not there. Oh no, it does still kind of
works, yeah.
But you're right. That in years, and the first time I saw that, I'll hand that back to you in pristine condition before I rip it. But that's the $1 snare drum, I guess, and it just gives you that little rattle.
I think you're right. It's all about that rattle, which is different from just muting the strings.
It gives you a little snare sound. Or I could be totally wrong, because I haven't seen any photo or video of him in the studio doing that. This is all guitar magazines write-ups and stories I've heard from
I've heard the story too. But whether that's true.
But
or
exactly
not,
how I did it, I'd genuinely be fascinated to know. Let me know if I'm wrong. If that's not how it's done, let me know. I want to know. It's fascinating. But then we have the signature country lead line.
Yes.
The intro of the song, and then also the solo.
Absolutely. Totally kind of iconic guitar parts, I think. And if you're doing a cover of these tunes, you got to get those bits. Yeah, those bits in there.
It's not just that there's so much. This is why we've taught this song to everyone we've ever taught, because you got the rhythm and the strumming, which is a real gateway strumming pattern to like 16th rhythms or anything with an embellishment in it, or just playing something faster. But then these signature country lead lines, which are so definitive of the genre, I guess.
Absolutely,
it's so popular.
Absolutely. Right? So the introduction is just coming straight out of the chord shape. So the tune is actually starting
on the B7,
on the B7, so on the 5 chord as opposed to the E. We're heading to the E. And
that's a blues thing, right? And this is Folsom Prison Blues, almost in a 12-bar blues in E. It is exactly a 12-bar blues in E, I guess.
I think it depends how you count it. Yeah, certainly a variation. Yeah. On it, it might stay on the one chord a little bit longer.
Oh, it certainly does on between the verses, because he's waiting. He's just catching his breath between the next verse. Yeah. In classic country fashion, we start when Mr. Johnny Cash sings.
Yes, exactly.
But this lead line starts the song.
So yeah, we've got this. Great kind of
in the room, especially.
So yeah, picking it down towards the bridge there for some extra twang.
Can I ask you? You're anchoring your pinky. Are you anchoring your third finger as well?
I think I just instinctively did that when I'm playing back behind the bridge. I might use some kind of anchor.
So you're going very close to the bridge to get a bit more twang?
Just for a bit more twang, yeah.
Which you even get on acoustic,
it works on acoustic guitar too. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's.
You don't need a Telecaster.
No,
you can literally just play a bit
it's
closer to the bridge.
Yeah, it's such an underutilized thing on the guitar, I think. But the tone control you've got just by moving your pick along the length of the string.
Faster picking, I prefer doing faster tremolo picking close to this rather than here. That was a huge thing for me. But yeah, signature twang and a B7
That's
chord.
it. So yeah, coming out of the chord.
So root to the third.
The root in the third, and then
a little bend down.
Yeah, coming down to this low F sharp, a little bit of a bend,
giving it that bluesy element.
Yeah,
to the minor, bending up to the minor
exactly.
third, isn't it?
Exactly.
But again, it gives it a little bit of sleaze, I guess.
Exactly, that sort of sleaze is a good way of putting it, I think.
Just on the note choices,
bit of kind of dirt,
on the interview.
And you can kind of bring in some other notes from the chord there if you wanted to.
It happens a lot, man. And then the solo.
And then the solo, another kind of real signature lick at the start of the solo. We've got. That kind of phrase there. So it's really just three notes. We've got 9 on the B, and possibly sliding into that again. It's this minor to major thing again. So, and over onto fret 7 on the top string, and we're just going back and forth between 10 and 7.
Which is the fifth to the dominant 7
to the flat 7, yeah. So
the solo there saying that this is an E7 chord.
Absolutely.
Even if you play an E major in the rhythm, those lead notes tell the listener instinctively, and if you were learning it and playing over it, this is an E7 chord.
Absolutely, yeah. This is. I'm thinking of this. It's an E7 arpeggio. Essentially, you go. You're not playing the root, but you've got the third, the fifth, and that's the flat 7, which is a bluesy sounding note. That's one of the signatures of the blues. Is that flat?
And you don't have to play the root because there's so much of the root in.
Yeah, you're holding down the root note.
It's been played by 2 guitars already. And then on the A chord. I believe on the original it kind of steps between some triads.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what was played on the original, but I think it's something along these lines. Oh, you can go, or maybe
I think so.
Something like that. So this is just an A major triad, fret 6, 5, and 5, and then I'm thinking of this as part of an A7 chord. It's like your D7 chord down there.
That shape slid
up. To bring it up the neck, and you've got that. Got a nice 7 chord.
100%
sound for that, and you can arpeggio those chords, strum those chords, and then you've got a choice. You can kind of go off into more of a single note kind of improvisation. I think I tried to stick to what was happening on the original.
On the original, it goes back to being very just chords after that.
Just chords, and I think you could try. That kind of thing, a little bit kind of rockabilly, kind of Travis picking kind of a thing going on.
And I think that's a huge thing about, again, the genre in general. It's not traditionally one where the lead guitarist is going to take a big solo for 5 minutes and we all watch him. It's way more about the collective. And it's people step to the 4-player melody, but then very quickly back off and it becomes about the band. Someone else would then take the solo.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's share it around the band very quickly.
Yeah.
Quite a different thing to blues music, which, once someo's playing a solo, we can watch this, or we can just go to the bar because he'll be still playing that solo when we get back.
Quite possibly.
But that's a fantastic thing about the genre, which I think the praises aren't sung enough of.
Yeah. No, that's what I love this solo. It's so concise, but
we can all learn a lot from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a fantastic song choice, man. Should we have a play through the full thing?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom just a leaving. My mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns.